Hi K4 friends, I'm back with another story, and this one has the same character as the last story we read. It's about a dog, and his name is Harry. Now if you remember in the last story, Harry was a white dog with black spots who got a little dirty. Well, in this book, Harry is a white dog with black spots who gets a sweater. And if you look at his sweater, there's yellow roses on it. These yellow flowers are called roses. But the title of the book says, "No Roses for Harry." That makes me a little nervous that he doesn't like his new sweater if the title says, "No Roses for Harry." Let's read and find out. The story is by Jean Zion with pictures by Margaret Graham. Oh my, looks like Harry's getting a present. The tag says, "To Harry from Grandma." Harry gets a present. He's unwrapping it. And remember, the title says, "No Roses for Harry." No roses. Uh-oh. Think he's going to get the sweater in the box? I wonder what it could be. There it is. Harry was a white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He didn't like the roses. That's why the title says "No Roses for Harry." He just doesn't like them. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he'd ever seen. The next day, when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. When dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind that then and there he would lose his grandmother's present. He said no more roses for him. When they went into the big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First, he tried to lose it in the pet department. See how he left it on a table and he's running away? Do you think that he's going to lose it there? Oh, no, a man found it and gave it back. Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department. Oh, look at that. Let's make a prediction. Do you think he's going to get to lose his sweater in the grocery department? Is that a good hiding place for it? Nope. A lady found it and gave it back. He tried to lose it in the flower department. You find his sweater? Go ahead, take your finger and point to his sweater. There it is. Let's make a prediction. Do you think he's going to leave it in the flower department? No, a little boy found it and gave it back. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. As they started home, Harry was beginning to think he'd never lose this sweater. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him. But Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. As he sat wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater. He pulled at the wool just a little at first, then a bit more, and a little bit more. Harry didn't know it, but a bird was watching. See the bird at the top, looking down at Harry? The bird sees that string. Wonder what's going to happen next. In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of the wool. The end of it lay on the grass behind him. Suddenly the bird flew down, and quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. Oh no, the bird has a hold of his sweater and she's flying away with it. Wonder what's going to happen next. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. First one leg, then the neck, then the other leg, then the back, and finally the whole thing was just one long piece of wool flying off into the sky. The sweater was gone. Harry could hardly believe it. He barked and jumped with joy. Then he ran out of the yard. I guess he got his wish. He didn't want any sweater. He didn't want the roses, so now he doesn't have it. Let's see what happens, though. He ran down the street barking thank you to the bird over and over again. The bird and the wool were just a tiny speck in the sky, but Harry kept following them. Can you see the bird and the wool in the sky? They're so far away. The bird is so tiny. He came home thirsty and tired and was having a drink in the kitchen when the children ran in. "We got a letter from Grandma," one of them said. "She's coming to visit us," shouted the other. Harry thought of the sweater and his tail drooped. Uh-oh, he must be feeling bad because he knew Grandma made that sweater just for him. And now the sweater's gone. Wonder how Grandma's gonna feel when she sees that. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how nice Harry looked in it. Of course, they couldn't find it. But only Harry and you know why. When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with his leash. Then he sat up and begged. "All right, Harry," said Grandma. "After I've had my lunch and nap, I'll take you for a walk." So that afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the children started off on their walk. Harry barked happily and pulled towards the park. I wonder why Harry wants to go to the park. When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off his leash and he ran off ahead. He seemed to be looking for something. All at once, he stopped under a big tree. He looked up and began to bark and wag his tail. Grandma and the children came running. Let's make a prediction. What do you think he's going to find up in that big tree? Why is he so happy to find that? What do you think is up there? Let's see if you're right. They got to the tree and looked up too. Suddenly, one of the children said, "I see a nest." "It's made of wool," said the other, "and it's the very same color as Harry's sweater," they said together. "It is Harry's sweater," exclaimed Grandma. Just then a bird looked out of the nest. "Look, Grandma, look," shouted the children. Harry gave his sweater to a bird. "I wonder how he did that," said Grandma. The bird sang and Harry wagged his tail even harder. The bird took that string and turned it into a nest. At Christmas, Harry got a present from Grandma. It was a new sweater. Harry liked this one very much. When he tried it on, it felt cozy and snug as the bird in the nest. But best of all, it was white with black spots. Just like Harry. Would you agree that that's a better sweater for Harry than that one? He certainly looks much happier in his new sweater. Thanks for listening to my story. Bye, K4 friends.